Welcome, everyone. I'm Michelle Glaze, Director of Professional Outreach for the Foundation Fighting Blindness, global leader in driving retinal degenerative disease research. I want to welcome all of you to tonight's session of Arizona Visionaries. This is one of our Foundation Forums for Blindness, and we are going to have three excellent presentations tonight, followed by a resource roundtable, where we'll invite any participants to just hop on and introduce yourself, share any updates or upcoming events that might be of interest to others in the community. The Foundation Forums for Blindness, the purpose of these is to bring professionals together in communities all over the U.S. to highlight resources available for individuals with vision loss and blindness. I'm really excited to showcase three fantastic organizations during tonight's Arizona Visionaries. Each of our presenters will have about 10 minutes to highlight their organization. We will hold all questions until the end, and then we'll open up for questions. This session is being recorded. It will be housed on our Arizona Visionaries page. You can visit the page by going to fightingblindness.org, select the For Eye Care Professionals tab, and then there will be a link to Foundation Forums for Blindness and a link to Arizona Visionaries. On that page, you can find a list of all of the professional resources and organizations who have joined us during these Arizona Visionary sessions, our founding member team, and also previous recorded sessions. I do want to thank our founding member team for joining us and for all the work that you do behind the scenes to pull these together. So Artemis, Michelle, Dr. Grandella, Tom, if you're on the call and you want to say anything before we get started, I will hand things over to you to just say a hello, and if not, I'll get the presentation started.
I'm going to defer to you, Michelle. You're okay. The chief show.
All right. Well, without further ado, then we will go ahead and get things kicked off. Our first presenter this evening is going to be Lauren Hopp with Ability 360. Lauren, you want to take the stage?
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. You'll have to excuse, I'm outside at our tennis center right now. I coach wheelchair tennis, and so Monday nights is our tennis night. But I'm glad to be here to kind of talk to you guys about Ability 360. My role at the Sports and Fitness Center is our program specialist of fitness. So I do lots of group fitness. I help to manage our personal trainers. I personal train myself. I help with events. I help maintain our facilities upstairs. So I wear lots of hats, but Ability 360 as a whole, we're a nonprofit organization. Our mission is to provide services to people with disabilities and their families to promote overall independence and wellness, so that way they can, advocate for themselves and have access to resources that they can better their lives with. So specifically our Sports and Fitness Center, that mission is kind of catered around sports and fitness. And so we do lots of different things, lots of different programs. I could probably talk about what we do for an hour, but essentially, our Sports and Fitness Center is located off of East Washington. We actually have a light rail station that's named after us. It's called Ability 360, and that's actually a stop that stops right along the street, and then you just take a nice walkway down to our Sports and Fitness Center. But essentially, we have it's a whole fitness center catered to people with disabilities and their families. We are open to the public, but our facility includes multiple pools. So we have 2 different pools, 1 hot tub spa. We have 2 full-size basketball courts. We have a 35-foot rock wall. And then upstairs, we have an indoor track and a fully adapted gym and group fitness room. So lots of different things taking place at our facility. I guess I'll kind of talk about, our going into our programs at our facility. So I talked about our adapted gym. Upstairs, we have a fully adapted gym with different pieces of equipment that are catered to people with disabilities. So we have different pieces of equipment where the seats will swivel out for those that use mobility devices. They can roll it right into that piece of equipment and use that piece of equipment from their chair. And then we have a group fitness room that is outfitted with what's called a T-coil hearing system. And essentially that just connects to if someone's using a hearing aid or some sort of assistive device for hearing, it can connect via Bluetooth and amplify the sounds that are going on in the room, specifically through the microphone that the instructor is using. And I guess going along with group fitness, all of our group fitness classes, our instructors are trained to be fully inclusive. So that includes like if someone comes in and is taking a class and they, require different accommodations, if they need to stay seated or if they need some more descriptive instructions, all of our instructors are trained to kind of provide those accommodations. In our fitness center as well, a few different points of accessibility here. There's Braille on every single piece of equipment. So depending on which side you're sitting on, there's a weight stack. And kind of on that side, there's a little plate with Braille that will explain the exercise and kind of what your capabilities are to adjust the weight. We also have Braille on our dumbbells. Some of our pieces of equipment have it's an audio feedback, I guess, accommodation where it will tell you, like, if you're doing a ski erg or using one of our rowers, it'll tell you kind of the distance you've gone, the time that you've worked, the amount of work that you've done, and that can kind of connect through that program's app and into your headphone if needed. Let's see, other accommodations in our fitness center. We have I guess this is our entire sports and fitness center. Some of our floors have contrast in color that will indicate a change into a new zone or into a new direction. And so, for example, if you're upstairs, there's a color contrast between the entrance of the track and the outside area, and then also into the zone of where like the pieces of equipment are. So if someone's walking and using a white cane and they or if they have limited sight and can sense contrast, there's that description. And then also there's changes in the textures of the floor as well, that can show, again, if you are using a white cane or if you can once you can sense once you step onto it that you've entered into a new zone. In addition to that, in our restrooms and our locker rooms, the tiles of the floors are actually grooved. And so if you ever want to come to our sports and fitness center, you now know me. My name is Lauren again. You can come and we can kind of take you and kind of show you these things. But the tiles on the floor are grooved. So that way, if you are using a white cane, it indicates a change in direction into a new zone. So those are just a few of the accommodations that we provide. Outside of our fitness center, we have pools. We have a 4-lane lap lane pool, a therapy pool that's heated just a little bit warmer. So sometimes we have individuals that prefer that pool because it's not so much of a shock to the system. And then the hot tub spa. So anytime our members want to use that space, they can just reserve a lane or reserve a spot in the lap lane pool and use that. Let's see what else here. We also do, outside of our sports and fitness center, we do outdoor programming. It's called 360 Outdoors. We go on adapted hikes. We'll do like row and paddle days. They'll take different trips. They've gone rock climbing. They're taking one trip down to the Grand Canyon this coming May or June, I believe. And they'll go fishing. So there's lots of different things to do outside that our staff have been kind of trained to take people through that require accommodations if you're sighted or not, or if you use a mobility device, and things like that as well. Let me see here. And then I kind of talked about our sports teams. I kind of talked about my wheelchair tennis team is one that I coach, but we offer many different kinds of sports teams like wheelchair football, wheelchair basketball. We have a golf program that happens in the spring when it's not a bajillion degrees outside. We also do pickleball, and I think in the past they may have done goal ball. I'm not sure if anyone's ever participated in that. And I think occasionally we do clinics for that. We definitely host a goal ball tournament every year. But yeah, so those are just a few things. A little bit about our sports and fitness center. Again, I could kind of talk for hours about what we do. Let's see, what else am I missing? We also have a military and veteran program. It's called our Military Past and Present. We just hired, well, within the year, we just hired a military programs coordinator. So essentially what we do, we provide for all of our active or veteran military servicemen or women a $25 a year membership for them and for their family members. And then we also do different types of military programming. So that can include outdoor activities. They do, activities by the pool. They have jujitsu. So there's lots of different things catered for like our military population as well. So again, I know you guys are kind of taking questions at the end of the meeting, and I can go ahead and drop my information, my email and my phone number into the chat of the Zoom if anyone wants to reach out to me. But again, my name is Lauren. I work upstairs at our sports and fitness center. So if you ever come in, you can ask for me and I can give you guys a tour. We do, for new members, we do what are called equipment orientations, where you would come in, meet with me, and I just help kind of walk you through our facility or our gym upstairs and just familiarize you with the different pieces of equipment that we have available to our members up there, just so it's not so intimidating of a thing when you come into our facility. So I'm so thankful that you guys had me here tonight. Again, if there's any questions, I'll drop my info in and you guys can reach out to me. And I'm so excited to hopefully partner with you guys in the future. Thank you.
Ability. It makes me think that Ability 360 maybe could help other facilities, other gyms, create scenarios that are a more accessible experience. I know I personally love to work out. When I go to the gym, I often feel my way around different, machines and devices, and it would be really nice to have something that's accessible in that way. So
yeah,
we
absolutely.
appreciate you popping on.
Yes.
If there are, I heard a couple of questions or comments being entered into the chat. Chelsea, I don't know if you can see those. Were those direct questions for Lauren? Chelsea might have stepped away. Okay.
Hey, sorry.
That's okay.
I'm here. I don't see any questions as of right now.
Okay. Excellent.
I got one quick question, if I could.
Yeah.
Lauren, do you have to be a member of Ability 360 to do any of the outside stuff, like the whitewater rafting or the paddle, or can you just join per event?
There may be some events that you do, but I don't think all of them. I don't think so. They might have like a small, like $3 or $5 fee if you're not a member.
Right.
Like a drop-in fee, essentially. I can definitely find that out for you, but I think a majority of them you don't have to be a member.
Okay. And one last question. Any proposals for an annex in North Phoenix?
Ooh, so we do have, it's our Telephone Pioneer Park location. It's a satellite location. We host occasional group fitness classes, a few a week up there. I think there's some on Tuesday nights and Thursday nights. And all of our group fitness classes are listed online at ability360.org. You go to the programs tab and then go to sports and fitness, and there should be a tab for Telephone Pioneer Park. If not, it's just under what are called our membership classes. And those take place in North Phoenix. So and then occasionally we will be opening the pool up there in, I believe, June. Don't quote me 100% on that, but I believe in June the pool will be open up there. Yeah. So Telephone Pioneer Park with Ability 360 is kind of what you want to look for. It's off of Morningside Drive, I think. I'm not sure where everyone else is located, but it is North Phoenix, kind of right off the 101. I believe. So
I know where that is. Thank you so much.
yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. Lauren, thank you
All
so
right.
much for joining us. And
Thank you so
just
much
a
for having me.
reminder yeah, absolutely. And a reminder for everyone on the call, we will be sending out this recording along with contact information for all of our presenters tonight. That will also be housed on the Arizona Visionaries page. So that'll be accessible. But if you have questions for Lauren, please feel free to enter them into the chat, or you can email me directly, mglaze@fightingblindness.org, and we'll get you connected. So Lauren, thank you so much and have a wonderful
Thank you.
evening.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Okay.
Lauren.
Yeah. All right. So our next presenter is Nick Mendler with the I Spy Foundation. And Nick, I will invite you to take the stage.
All right. Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate you having me on here, speaking to my Arizona people. I lived out there for a year in Scottsdale, so I do know the area a little bit. I am out of Jacksonville, Florida. And as Michelle said, I'm with the I Spy Foundation, which is a 501c3 that we started 2 years ago. And the quick summary, and then I'll give you the quick summary of what ispy.org is. I'll tell you my story, and then I'll tell you where we currently are in our mission and what we're doing. So the first part is that ispy.org is essentially your one-stop shop for all of the resources and community you would ever want to find for the blind and low vision community. I started about 2 years ago. Some of you on the call, we've met, like Phi or James, and obviously Michelle and Chelsea, you know what we're doing here. But the whole thought and the whole idea came from my own personal low vision journey. When I was 16 years old, I was living in Cincinnati with my mom and went to the normal optometrist and did all of the routine tests and everything. And he came back into the room and essentially said, "Hey, I've got some bad news. You have this thing called retinitis pigmentosa,"
They're great.
which is sorry, did someone have something there?
No, I said they're great at that with the bad news.
Oh yeah, so the bad news came. Essentially, you have this rare retinal disease called retinitis pigmentosa. Currently, there's no cure. There isn't any particular clinical trials, for you at this point. This was 1998. And from that point, we set an appointment to come back in 6 months, and they gave us a pamphlet about low vision. And that was pretty much the experience. So my mom and I left that room. And at the time, I just got my driver's license. I'm playing varsity baseball, high schooler, and trying to understand, what this means for me in my world and really the rest of my life. And there wasn't really an answer there. So what I've learned, from just going through my own experience is that there wasn't a one-stop shop. There wasn't one website where you could go and find resources for your local area or across the nation. Like FFB has lots of chapters, and I'm a chapter leader here in Jacksonville. But I mean, we didn't even know that. So that's where the idea came from. And yeah, ispy.org has resources all throughout the US. We have a good amount on an Arizona page there for everybody there in Phoenix. But what we're really doing right now is we are building city to city. So the idea is that, going to like Visions Conference this last summer, meeting a bunch of people, talking with people on the phone for the last 18 months, what I've learned is that every community is super rich in resources and people and programs and services. But the difference is that you're just not together. They're not in one spot. And so we're left to do our own homework and figure out what's right for us. And, sometimes that can be tough to figure out where you are. Some people get misdiagnosed. There's a whole lot of things that can happen. So we figured out that there's this thing, the city by city has its own unique things going on, like Ability 360, which is an amazing adaptive sports program. Holy cow. But we have like a Brooks Rehab here in Jacksonville. That's our adaptive sports program. So my point being is that whether it is, accessibility and technology, whether it's an FFB chapter, whether it's understanding events or news, or just looking for resources, ispy.org is going to be your spot. And so right now we're in the middle of raising to put together our navigator program. And what that is essentially, it is a real person from our community who is employed by iSpy, and they will be what I call the know-it-all. They are the know-it-all navigator. And we want to put a person in every major metro. And they're essentially the person that knows, hey, this event's going on, or hey, we've got this program or service or this adaptive sports program. And it's really making sure that we keep that human connection going for when you reach out to somebody, whether that be through the phone, email, social media, that we got you covered. So right now, that's where we are with iSpy as far as going city to city, creating that first model. And then hopefully we'll be in Phoenix soon enough. But right now we do have resources already listed on the website for Arizona, for Phoenix, because Phi gave me an amazing PDF with a bunch of resources, which I hope a lot of them are in there, but we're still working on it because it's just me right now and some interns coming on board. So, but anyways, that is pretty much what iSpy is. My email is in the chat. And if you want to learn more about what we're doing, you can go to iSpy, that's EYESPY.org/talks. And you can fill out a contact form. You can sign up for our newsletter. You can listen to me ramble on at other different presentations like Leader Dogs or the Cincinnati FFB or the Jacksonville FFB meetings. And Michelle's been kind enough to have me on those. So that's pretty much everything for me. And yeah, happy to take questions at the end of this thing. Yeah, so I'll throw it back to Michelle.
Excellent, Nick. Thank you. If you have not checked out ispy.org, check it out. Lots and lots of resources. And as Nick said, it's really, really nice to be able to go to one spot and be able to find anything. So I think that when this is all done, it's going to be a wonderful resource for our community. And I will continue, Nick, to help get iSpy in front of our communities all over the U.S. to the best of my ability, because I think it's a wonderful resource.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you for joining. I know it's late on the East Coast, so thanks for hopping on tonight. Okay. If you have questions, again, you can type them into the chat or just hold on to them. We have one more presentation and then we'll open up for questions, and then we'll flow over into the resource roundtable. So our last presenter for this evening, last but certainly not least, is James Workin with Blind Institute of Technology. Really excited about the work that BIT is doing, and I think that all of you are going to be interested to hear about it as well. So James, you want to take the stage here?
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully I'm unmuted. I think I am.
We can hear you.
We got it.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me on. I am James Warnken from Blind Institute of Technology. I am BIT's digital accessibility subject matter expert. So I know way more about accessibility than some of the other things that BIT does, but I'm going to do my best. I am also on the East Coast, just like Nick. I'm a little bit north in Ohio, though, not quite Florida. I believe it's a lot more sunshine down where Nick is than where I am. So BIT, Blind Institute of Technology, some of us may have heard of it. Some of us may have heard the acronym or the name mentioned alongside of some other projects, some other initiatives, some big, some small. At the end of the day, BIT is focused on employment for professionals with disabilities. And so I'm going to talk about three of the main sort of verticals that BIT operates within that fulfills that mission of getting people with disabilities gainful employment, putting them in career opportunities, not just finding them jobs. And so the first one I'm going to start with is the BIT Academy. And so a lot of the professionals that come through BIT are looking to reskill. They're looking to upskill. And so the BIT Academy offers a wide range of courses, soon to be even more. For right now, the main two are in Salesforce and accessibility. So I, being the accessibility SME, I built and instruct that digital accessibility course. On the Salesforce side, it's the same thing. The main driver behind what courses BIT offers is that they are all of them lead to industry globally recognized certifications. So on the accessibility side, it's the IAAP CPAC certifications, the WASs. On the Salesforce side, it's the Salesforce Associate, the Salesforce Admin, the App Builder, Agentforce. There's all kinds of certifications that are globally recognized that are requirements within those career fields. And so students come in, they become what we call a career seeker. Once they're a career seeker, that makes them eligible for any of the classes that BIT offers. Those courses are completely free to individuals with disabilities. And all of those programs, like I said, lead to those certifications. There's a lot more beyond just the classes. There's professional development workshops, resume building, mock interviews, career opportunities, apprenticeships, outside of BIT that are available as well. And so once a student gets their certification, they either go for the career hunting route or they can go for the apprenticeship, which is sort of pillar number 2. And the apprenticeship, I believe last time I checked, BIT still is the only organization that holds the only 2 registered apprenticeship programs for the blind and visually impaired with the federal government. And so
Really?
those 2 apprenticeships are one Salesforce and the other accessibility. And so once a student gets their certification, they then become eligible for an apprenticeship opportunity, which is a 2-year trek that gets them hands-on experience working with real clients on real projects, doing the work that they're hopefully going to be doing in their career. I am involved on the apprenticeship side for the accessibility, and I oversee a team currently of 13 apprentices alongside of 2 other journeymen or journey workers, basically helping make sure that they get the skills and the experience that they need. What a small world it is, because one of those clients and projects we're currently working on is with Nick with iSpy. So BIT is collaborating even within this community that's here tonight. But those apprentices, as I'm sure Nick will tell you, do an incredible job testing and auditing websites, coming up with solutions on how to make those more accessible. They get all of the real experience that they would be doing as an accessibility analyst, as a Salesforce admin in a career. And so after their 2-year apprenticeship, they go on to either career hunt or go right into the career field, which leaves just one pillar remaining that BIT does, and that is BIT's professional services. There's 4 main categories of services. As I'm sure you can guess 2 of them. One is Salesforce, one is accessibility. The other 2 is staffing and recruiting, getting people placed, building relationships with organizations that are looking to hire people with disabilities. Or looking to bring on apprentices that have their certifications and are looking for that experience. And then the 4th one is training. So we do everything from disability empowerment training, train the trainer on accessibility best practices within websites and documents and applications. There's a whole suite of trainings that BIT does, either to upskill teams like developers and designers on making accessible products and services, or getting entire organizations over the uncomfortable, sometimes awkward conversation around disability so that they're more open to that diverse hiring that they claim they already do. So within the Salesforce course services, that's your delivered services, managed services. If you have Salesforce, but you feel like you could be using it better, BIT's team is completely comprised of professionals with disabilities providing those services, whether full-time or apprentices that are looking for their experience. And on the accessibility side, it's those audits, it's the training, it's the VPAT writing. If you're looking to work with the government, you're going to need one. And again, that's apprentices that are working on that experience under supervisors like myself or my 2 colleagues on delivering those services to those customers and clients. So BIT does a lot, but at the end of the day, it's all for breaking down those barriers, getting people with disabilities, our community, significant unemployment rates over history. And so BIT is working to do something about that while sort of chomping at the bit to increase access and inclusion while also opening up those opportunities.
James, thank you so much. Chomping at the bit, pun
I
intended.
love that.
Loved it.
I
Yes.
didn't even think about it, so
Well,
I'll take
you
it.
should coin it. You should coin it. That's a good one. So James, thank you for a wonderful overview. For those of you who were at the Visions Conference in Chicago last summer, Mike Hess, the CEO of BIT in the Golden Hoodie, was part of the opening panel. So he is the fearless leader, a member of our community, but also the fearless leader of Blind Institute of Technology. And they are working tirelessly to really level up employment for the disability community. So
I will
admirable
say,
work being done.
I will say it is 9:40 at night in the East Coast, so it tirelessly we don't sleep. But as far as that conference last year, Nick and Mike both tried to convince me the day before my wedding to come out to Chicago, and I just couldn't manage it.
No, I can't imagine why. Well, we're happy we're happy to have you with us tonight. Thank you for joining
Thank
us
you.
on late night, you and Nick both. So
Yeah, thank you for having me.
absolutely. What I'd like to do is open up for questions, and I have heard Jaws telling me that there are some questions, comments in the chat. So Chelsea, if you're still with us, if you could help with that, that would be excellent. And in the meantime, I will just open up. If anybody has questions, please speak up.
Yeah, this is Chelsea. We do have two questions in the chat. One question is, or both questions are for James. So the first question is, does BIT evaluate what technology works best for each individual? And the second question is, does BIT partner with any organizations in Phoenix to generate employment opportunities?
Yeah, so BIT doesn't do the whole assistive technology training specifically. We've had a lot of people come to BIT and we will always refer them out. I believe there is talks right now about getting assistive technology training as part of the academy experience. If somebody needs to learn how to use JAWS or NVDA or some form of assistive technology, I believe that's in conversation. Don't hold me to it, but from what I've heard in conversation, I believe there is talks about that. And BIT, as far as the second question goes, BIT is based out of Denver, Colorado, so not too far from Arizona. And I know Mike has done a lot of networking. There are more partners than I even can count, or that I even know about. So I'm sure there are organizations out in Arizona that BIT works with and collaborates with, from the accessibility, from the awareness, from the advocacy, and from the employment and the placement perspective. But that doesn't mean BIT isn't always looking for more. I believe the last statistic was 70% of the blind community is unemployed. And so there is plenty of opportunity for new partnerships, new collaborations to knock that number down.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the word that comes to mind is criminal, but it's so unfortunate the degree of under and unemployment that is out there for not only the blind and the vision community, but the disability community in general. So excellent work being done. And, if anybody wants to get connected, if you know organizations or groups that would like to connect with Lauren or James or Nick, you can always email me and I can make those connections. Happy to do that and happy to get folks together that can collaborate for mutually beneficial, endeavors. So any other questions for James or Nick?
I just wanted to say something, Michelle. I didn't want to jump on any questions, but as far as the collaboration between iSpy and BIT, it's been an amazing experience from our side. So when James was speaking about their apprenticeship program and their academy, one of the things that we've partnered with BIT on is to test out iSpy.org to see how accessible we are. So I just wanted to mention that we've got our kind of review call, which incredibly in-depth report that I'm sure will give me a lot of work to do this week. But my point is that if you're watching this, or if you're in a business that needs some accessibility help, BIT is definitely the one to go to, and they have a great new program that can probably help you with that. So just wanted to plus that with James. And yeah, if anybody needs a topic, I'd love to hear any kind of like things that people are struggling with. You know, for these calls, that's what I love to hear about, our topics. So whether it is workforce, whether it's transportation, if anybody's got anything, that's how we're building I Spy, is really by understanding what people need. So just
to the project point, Nick, we're going to give you a lot of work to do, but you and I have known each other long enough now that you can call me, and I can take my BIT hat off and help you out. So
perfect. Perfect.
I won't give you too much, but
Can I just ask, James, I don't see any email contact information out there for you. Can you put it in the chat?
yeah, absolutely. I'll put mine and then our general inbox as well.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you.
Not a problem. Let me just find the chat.
No, I know. It just took me the whole time to do my questions.
Yeah.
Hello, Nick. This is Tom from Prescott, Arizona.
Hey, Tom.
Do you know Dr. Sandeep Grover?
Yeah, he's my doctor. He's a pretty special guy. So he's got me enrolled in historical study, and he's our retinal specialist here in Jax. Yep.
Yeah, he trained under Dr. Fishman in Chicago, and who I was a colleague and worked together with for 25 years. And so say hello to him next time you see him. And
I will.
I have a similar story. I diagnosed playing American Legion baseball, and the ball went up in the air and disappeared. And I was diagnosed with Stargardt disease, and
fellow Stargardian.
It interrupted all of my studies, and then later college and graduate school, and went into the field of low vision rehabilitation for 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So it's great to hear from all of you. It's been exciting, and we love to network, and that's one of the reasons what we kind of started this whole idea with Michelle.
Always good to meet another Stargardian.
You have Stargards too, James? James, you have Stargards?
Yeah.
Oh, another one. Me too.
In there too, Linda. Well, butterfly dystrophy, but generally speaking.
Hey, power in numbers. That's what I say. Power in numbers.
Right.
Well, this is kind of flowing nicely into the resource roundtable, you know, some discussion and conversation coming up. So what I'd like to do, this is Michelle, is just open it up. We have some folks on the call that are joining for a second time or third time. We have some folks that I think are first timers on the Arizona Visionaries. So during the next portion of the meeting, what I'd like to do is invite anybody who would like to just hop on and introduce yourself, share a little bit about your organization, or if you've joined us before and you want to highlight an upcoming event, or something like that that might be of interest to this group or to the community in Arizona, please take the lead and just hop on in.
This is Reggie.
Hi, Reggie.
I'll go ahead and start things off. My name is Reginald Lasser, and I'm with Savvy Services for the Blind, where we have centers in Tucson and Phoenix, and we cover comprehensive services for students of all ages. Our primary focus is on making sure that the employment rates start to rise in our blind community. So our Elevate, Transform, Succeed program is a 9-month to a year program that is supported through vocational rehabilitation that allows our students to gain the skills of employment to get back to work. We also have children and youth programs and summer camps that are about to start, along with weekly free classes that we offer to the community. One is our weekly Ability Builds Confidence class that happens every Tuesday from 10 to 12. And we also have a senior-focused Silver Canes program that happens on every Friday in the building. You can come in the building from 9 to 2 o'clock. Or join us for 1 hour of virtual senior services from 11 to 12. I'm going to put our information for as far as our events calendar in the chat, and I'll also add my contact information if anybody has any questions about Savvy Services. We will be bringing services to Northern Arizona over the
Yahoo!
next couple of months. So we have a listening session in Prescott coming up, and one also in Flagstaff, and you will see those details of both events in the events calendar that I'm dropping in the chat right now.
That's fantastic, Reggie. Thank you so much.
We're happy about it. We've been working really hard to get contacts that way, and it's time. It's time for us to bring services because we understand just how valuable it is to have local services. Not everybody wants to come to Tucson or Phoenix to spend time, but if we are able to bring the services to you, that's just what we'll do, because access is what we're preaching, right? So give people an access point.
Fantastic.
Good evening. This is David Steinmetz.
Hi, David.
Great lineup of speakers today and presentations. I'm glad this is my first time being on the call. Some of our team members were at the Vision Walk and talked, I don't know if it was with you, Michelle, or who it was, but said we should get connected with the Arizona Visionaries. So here we are.
Excellent. And what organization are you with, David?
Arizona Industries for the Blind, AIB.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for joining us tonight. Tell us a little bit.
Yeah, sure. So Arizona Industry Blind, or AIB, is an employment option for people who are blind and low vision in Phoenix and Tucson, as well as in Yuma, Arizona. And we provide various products and services to federal, state, and commercial customers. And through those lines of business, we create employment opportunities for people who are blind to be self-sufficient and to be able to live the life that they want, the way that they want through employment. So in Phoenix, we have a 200,000 square foot warehouse and distribution center where we store and then distribute products to various customers worldwide. We have 60 employees in that business line, and 48 are legally blind. We also have a document imaging where we convert paper to electronic records. So offices that are storing paper and they need to recover that space, or they're just downsizing, we can scan all that paper, put it into electronic formats, OCR, so it's screen reader friendly as well, and provide it back to them in whatever format that our customer needs. And then we operate base supply centers, or a retail environment on our military bases in Arizona, where we serve the airmen and the Marines with the products they need to be successful in their mission. It can be uniforms to, we've supplied jet skis and ATVs to Border Patrol, whatever the customer is looking for, we are that solution provider, as well as a viable solution for people who are seeking employment throughout Arizona. I am the Community and Public Relations Manager. I've been with the organization for 20 years. I have RP, and felt like that employment gap where everybody's been talking about is how do we get people back to work, and that's really my mission is to change the perception of blindness and get people back to work.
Well, David, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for supporting the Phoenix Vision as well. We're glad that you were able to hop on tonight, and thank you for telling us a little bit about your organization.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Absolutely. Anybody else on the call want to hop in and introduce yourself?
Well, I'll talk about my for a minute if you'd like.
Yeah.
And just started up with a business called Vision Toolbox because when I started out with my low vision specialist back in Chicago, where Tom worked, a Vision Toolbox was talked a lot, and it makes an impression on people to, I want to show people what types of things you can have in your toolbox, in your tray, wherever you want to keep it. Mm-hmm. And things that you can use for independent living at home. There's, we know that there are a lot of people waiting to have an appointment with a low vision specialist or work with the state agencies. I visited with I've been at Savvy a few times. I've, getting more involved in the different organizations, understanding what they provide. And Tom's been a really great asset too as a mentor. And also like the resources, just here to provide information and some education resources, and to let people know they're not alone. Just pick up the phone.
Excellent, Linda. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Linda and David, if you would both, if you're able to put your information in the chat, that would be great. Or email me at mglaze@fightingblindness.org. That way we can make sure that your information is included and uploaded in our list of professional resources on the Arizona Visionaries page.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else on the call want to share anything or introduce yourself?
Hey, Michelle, it's Phi.
Hey, Phi, how are you?
Hi. Good, good. How are you?
Good. I heard you hop on earlier. It's good to hear your voice.
You as well. You as well. Thank you. I just wanted to hop on, just thank Nick and Jesse for jumping in on the East Coast. I know it's late for you both, so thank you for hopping on and sharing about the two organizations. It's a pleasure meeting Nick, you at Visions Conference, and then James hearing from your leader as well too. That was great to hear. So thank you for sharing about your two organizations, and I'm excited to just add it to our list. And then Nick, I don't know if you've had a chance to look at our Foundation Fighting Blindness chapter page. We do link to your page as well too there. So yeah, but whatever we can do to share the information.
That's amazing. Thanks, Vi, and thanks for that PDF too you sent me. You guys have a lot of great resources out there, so it's taken me some time to get them all in there, but yeah, no, appreciate all the support.
Absolutely.
I will say, Phi, your background, I don't know where that is, but I want to.
Okay, I need an audio description. What is it? What is your background?
I'll tell you, it is the background is out in the Big Island in Hawaii. So it's a view actually out. I'm going to duck myself a little bit so you can kind of see the whole thing. But the view is basically it's the table where my husband and I did our commitment ceremony. So the background is like you can see the blue waters and kind of the lava rocks. And nearer, you've got two big leis that we had. It's like white and red flowers. It's on a white table, and there's other devices used for the ceremony. So it just makes me happy to think back to that scene. So I always put it as my background.
Oh, it sounds beautiful.
I just missed out on a trip to Hawaii, so I'm jealous.
There's still time.
I have been to Hawaii one time. I was an Outback girl. I worked for Outback Steakhouse when I was in college, and I had the opportunity to go and open the restaurant in Waipio. So my name is actually on a surfboard in Waipio, Hawaii, in an Outback, or it might still be there, but it's beautiful there. So pretty. I'd love to go back one day.
Yes.
Yeah. Very cool.
Not to sidetrack the conversation or anything.
Well, now that we all have Hawaii on the brain, okay, it's almost summertime. It's time to start thinking about vacations, right?
Yes.
Okay. Any other folks want to hop on, share anything, say hello? Have we heard from everyone on the call?
I'd be glad to share a few little new things.
Yeah,
I'm seeing continue to see individuals for low vision service, and that's going well. With Reggie, we're going to be hosting the focus groups for the Prescott area, which we're really excited about, to be able to have Northern Arizona participating now with Savvy, and it goes way back for me as being on the board of directors for Savvy for so many years in my young career. Also, the Associated Retina Consultants in Phoenix, they have 12 retina specialists, and they're coming up in this area, I believe, every day in the week now, because we have so many retired folks. And they called me and asked if I would do a support group for all of their patients in Prescott area. And I might have to rent a hall for that one. But that's a new thing that we're just starting out, which has been really good. Also, when I've been meeting with patients, I show a lot of information about the early stages of macular disease, what's out there to help people, what questions they should know and be asking their doctor on follow-ups, how to monitor their vision. So basically, I published a 40-page large print pamphlet, which I would be glad to send along to anyone. So you can reach me at, I believe my email's on the list, tom@peoplewhocareaz.org, tom@peoplewhocareaz.org. And you feel free to distribute that. I just felt like it was something that I hadn't seen before and is very much needed for our community of seniors being diagnosed with AMD.
Thank you. Thank you for all the work you're doing in the field. And we have such an amazing group here tonight. I'm delighted and heartened to have so many folks hop on, especially from all over. I mean, Nick and James from the East Coast. And we're just excited to continue to build the Foundation Forums, Arizona Visionaries. For those of you who haven't visited the Foundation Fighting Blindness site lately, there's a lot ongoing in the field. There are more than 50 clinical trials underway for retinal degenerative diseases in several different therapeutic modalities, gene replacement therapies, cell-based therapies, neuroprotective strategies, optogenetics, and more. So if you're interested in hearing about some of the research that's underway, visit fightingblindness.org. There's a section that has a clinical trial pipeline where you can find all of the clinical trials underway. If you're a professional in the field and you are interested in learning about some of the resources that the foundation has to offer, including no-cost genetic testing, no-cost genetic counseling, and the MyRetina Tracker registry, there is a For Eye Care Professional tab. That is my team. So if you're interested in learning more about what we can do to support you as an eye care professional in providing guidance and providing support and knowledge and hope for patients as they go through their personal journeys with vision loss, please check that out or feel free to reach out to me. At a local level, if you are interested in getting involved with the Foundation Fighting Blindness chapter in Phoenix, you can reach out to Phi, you can reach out to Artemis, you can reach out to Tom, you can reach out to Michelle. Any of those folks can help get you connected, and we'd love to have you participate at a local level there. Our next Arizona Visionaries will be, let me think, we're in April, May, June, July.
It's nice and hot in Arizona.
Say again?
When it's nice and hot in Arizona.
Yeah,
right.
Not up here.
Tom, we're all going to go visit you for the summer.
Right.
That'd be great. I'll let my wife know.
We will be sharing the next date for Arizona Visionaries. Our founding member team will come up with a date for our next session, and I will send that out the same way that I did this calendar invite. I will also share the recording of tonight's session and along with the professional resources and link to the Arizona Visionaries page. Be patient with me. I'll try to get that to you within the week. I always have marketing help with editing those recordings. So once they have it to me, I will get it out. Please, as always, feel free to invite any other professionals or folks in your network who might be interested in joining us. We'd love to have new people participate. And feel free to share Arizona Visionaries on social media. We are averaging nearly 150 views of each session as it's recorded and housed on the page. And the more that this is shared, the more it will be viewed. So we appreciate your help in spreading the word. Again, I'm Michelle. Oh, yeah.
I had a quick question.
Sure.
The lecture by Dr. David Gam. Do you know if that will be available to watch? I missed that one. The recent one by FFP.
Yeah, Tom, thank you for the question. That was part of our Insights Forum call. The Insights Forum calls occur quarterly. It is the Foundation Fighting Blindness does these quarterly calls to showcase what's going on at the foundation, and often we have a guest speaker that presents some research. So those recordings are placed on the Foundation Fighting Blindness webpage. When it's available, I'd be happy to share that. I am not certain exactly where it's housed, but I can find that out or just share the recording with this group at large.
Thank you.
You bet. Absolutely. All right, team. Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you all. Thank you, our founding member team, once again for pulling this together. Thank you to all of our presenters. What a wonderful lineup of presentations and information. And thanks for all of you who hopped on to join. This is Michelle Glaze, and I hope to see you on the next Arizona Visionaries. Good night, everyone.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you for everybody.
Thank you.
Take care.
Night.
Bye-bye.